That's right. Fox 40 is your local election headquarters. Stockton Mayor Kevin Lincoln is one of the candidates in the race for the 9th Congressional District. And we are so thankful that he is joining us early this morning in studio to talk about his campaign. Thank you so much for being here. First off, how you feeling? Late night last night, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Late night last night. First off, thank you for having me again. In fact, you were the first ones to interview me when I announced back in July of last year, and now the first ones to interview me early in the morning, the first day of the general election.
That's right, bright and
really
early.
Excited.
After a big Super Tuesday. So first off, I think many people would be interested to know why you chose to not run for mayor for another term, but instead you wanted to be in the running for Congress as a Republican. Explain the decision behind that.
We've made a lot of progress over the last 4 years in the city of Stockton. We've worked bipartisan across the board to really address the fundamental needs of the community. We're talking about reducing crime. We're talking about reducing homelessness. We're talking about spearheading economic development in the community. And with Stockton being the anchor seat, the largest city in this congressional district, I'm going to continue my service not only to Stockton, but San Joaquin County as a whole, because 96% of this congressional district is San Joaquin County.
You're right, absolutely. I mean, it encompasses such a wide and critical area. And now, when you look at the incumbent, Josh Harder, who's been in this role since 2018, what do you see him doing right, and what would you like to see change for District 9 that isn't happening, that you want to see happen?
When people think about Washington, they think about division, blame, and partisanship. One of the things that need to change, and that I've been an example for as the mayor of Stockton, is leading bipartisan initiatives to actually get results for the community that I've been elected to lead and serve. And that's what I intend to do in Congress as well. When you look at Representative Harder, he's been in office since 2018, previously representing a different congressional district, not the 9th congressional district, so he's not from this district. And he votes to date 100% lockstep with the Biden administration. And, quite frankly, that's not serving the local residents of California's 9th Congressional District very well, because, 75% of working families in San Joaquin County, they're struggling to make their, meet their basic needs. We're talking about inflation, cost of gas, groceries. The people are feeling it, and there has to be some change, and Congress needs to act. We have a crisis on the border as well. The president and Congress, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, has a responsibility to act in the best interest of the American people. And as a representative, that's what I'm going to do. And the reality is, my party may not always agree with me in decisions that I make, but I'm always going to make the decisions that are in the best interest of the community. And I have a proven track record of doing that over the last 4 years as mayor.
Now that we heard your game plan, which was great, I do want to ask, what do you hope the future mayor of Stockton will be, moving into that important role and taking your place? What do you hope the city of Stockton will look like?
Well, one of the things that I made certain that I did was do the best I can to serve our community well. As a former Marine, as a former pastor in our community, I know what public service is, right? And that's what the people of Stockton want. They want a public servant. They want somebody that's going to put their needs first, set their ego aside, and roll up their sleeves and get to work. And that's my hope for whoever the next mayor is coming out of November 5th of this year, that they would do right by the people of Stockton, because that's my heart, that's my home, raised me for multiple generations. I care about that city, and that's why I want to go to Congress. And that's why I am going to Congress, to represent not only Stockton, but San Joaquin County as a whole, so we can take care of not only the residents of California's 9th Congressional District, but we can take care of the American people like they deserve to be taken care of.
Mayor Lincoln, we appreciate you coming in here, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Heading into November. We appreciate you. All right.